Welcome back, everybody. We're here with one of our vendor interviews. I'm here with Diane Miller, who gave me two business cards. One says Director, Operations, Cybersecurity Group, and the other one was Program Director with Cyber Patriots. So thank you very much for coming.
Thanks for having me.
So a couple of quick questions before we get rolling. Why do you guys come to things like CCDC? What is the draw here?
The draw is that we are the largest provider of cybersecurity solutions to the federal government, which means we are not only protecting our own information, but our customers' information. We have so many jobs open, and so do our customers. So the reason we come here is to find that highly qualified talent that participates in activities like this.
So what qualities are you looking for in that talent pool coming out of college that these guys really exemplify?
Coming out of college, we're looking for students who have majored in any of the sciences, technology, engineering, math. Any of those disciplines give them a really nice, strong technical foundation, but also kind of that curiosity and stick-to-itness, that comes with cybersecurity, good integrity, good lifestyle choices so that they can help work on them.
You've got to get cleared, right?
Well, for some of our jobs, you do have to get cleared, but remember, a cyber professional is protecting the most critical information in an organization. So we want to make sure our employees can work on our systems and our customer systems because it's a position of trust.
So a lot of people, whenever they're coming out of college, they look at DoD as an option, or anything that's cleared, or working with a defense contractor, and it's not at all uncommon for them to hear from people, you really don't want to go there because it's so siloed. It's always this need-to-know idea versus a need-to-share paradigms, and it really isn't that much fun to work in. Now, whenever I left, I used to work with Northrop Grumman a number of years ago, that was starting to change. Do you still see that change happening in the government, and how is that manifesting itself?
Well, what's interesting is inside Northrop Grumman, it's changing a lot because in my job as Director of Operations for our cybersecurity group, I run our collaboration teams. So what's fun is to get people from across the company that might have cybersecurity expertise on hardware, some on software, all kinds of different applications and systems that could be defense, they could be state government kinds of applications. And we have them all, really talking together, thinking through problems and solutions so that we aren't stovepiped in the capabilities that we bring to the table.
Yeah, and that's another thing that you see in a lot of large DoD companies where there's so many different disparate companies, trying to unify them is so hard. I can't remember the guy's name, if it's McBride or McKnight in George Bakos' group, trying to tie everything together. So the nature of the threat that you guys are dealing with, what are the types of attacks? You don't have to be specific, of course, but you're not really dealing with script kiddies on a day-to-day basis. You're dealing with something a bit more advanced than that, right?
We do, and really it's that advanced persistent threat that we see much more sophisticated attacks than there have been in the past and much more persistent. So, we certainly, in our own centers and in our customer systems that we run on their behalf, see a lot more advanced kinds of threats coming out from organized crime, nation states. And even though you kind of think of those script kiddies as kind of a nuisance, you still have to pay attention to them because you never know exactly what direction they're going to go.
Absolutely. Speaking of that, the idea of not knowing the direction that they're coming from, if you look at these guys right now on the blue team, they're getting hit in a variety of different ways, going back to that skill set that is so essential in information security. If you look at something like the RSA attacks, right, do you think that that kind of exemplifies the type of the attacks that we're going to be seeing over the next 5 years? They're going to be these non-standard attacks that are, a supplier or a vendor or even a partner has been compromised, and you got to be ready for it. They're going to hit you where you least expect it.
Well, and that's why I think it's one thing that we're spending a lot of time on is secure supply chain, because it's just as you say, you have to be careful on who your suppliers are, where your materials are coming from, who your partners are.
Absolutely.
And so you can't open yourself up to those vulnerabilities. We were all surprised certainly by, the Stuxnet virus. And what we thought were pretty routine attacks now, they're really coming out of the blue now with some very ingenious things. And so to be a cyber defender, you have to think a little bit differently these days and how you might be attacked, where your vulnerabilities might be. So we spend a lot of time looking at those angles to better defend our own networks.
Outstanding. Well, thank you very much. It's very good to have somebody here from the company, the last company I ever worked for. And I can speak to the quality of the people. If you look up George Bakos and some of the other people that work at Northrop Grumman consistently, they have some of the best people that are innovating in this industry as well. So thank you very much. We're going to wrap up. Thank you very much for coming. Maybe we'll have you back. And we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back. Thank you very much, everybody.